Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome to a game of throws in World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. And welcome also to Notser, for it is he. If you've been in this game since the beginning, you will probably remember Notser. He dropped out of the game and the community in general several years ago in order to focus on his family, but he is back. For those of you who don't know Notser, let's just say he achieved a level of notoriety on a par with the infamous Jingles Landings. Notser would do the same thing, except in World of Warships. He was infamous for not watching where he was going and running into islands. It actually became known as pulling a Notser. Although, since he's been out of the community for a while, the phrase has fallen into neglect. But hopefully it's going to be coming back, because he's back too. I met him in person in St. Petersburg many years ago at I think it was the first World of Warships Community Contributor Summit. You know, back in the day when we were still in the honeymoon period and Wargaming actually needed us and therefore cared about what we thought. And he was a really nice guy, and it is genuinely great to see him back. I'm warning you though, Notser, if we don't see you run into at least one island in this battle, everybody's going to be disappointed. So anyway, well, the ship that he's sailing, is this a tier 10 or a tier 9? It's a tier 9 battle. So he's top tier. This is the Pan-American tier 9 battleship, the Los Andes, and it is an extremely nice ship. It comes with a funny button, of course, enhanced secondaries, which are activated by scoring hits on target with the main gun batteries, and also by taking potential damage. It rewards an aggressive playstyle because you have to keep shooting and hitting targets or getting hit by targets in order to charge up that funny button. And when it's active, your secondaries, which on this thing are already devastating, go into overdrive mode. 14.2 kilometer range on these secondaries. Oh, more detail about the secondaries in a moment. You see this? He's ready to fire, but he's holding it because that Los Andes is going to have to turn and give broadside in order to, there it is, in order to avoid running into that island. So, already some good decision making. Let down by horrible RNG. Where were the citadels? Not so you were robbed. But anyway, yes, the secondaries on the Los Andes. Most of the secondaries are admittedly just your standard 5-inch guns. The same kind of secondaries that most, if not all, battleships have. But those are not the Los Andes' only secondaries. It also has a whole bunch of 9.1 inch or 234mm secondaries. 16 of them. It's like having a heavy cruiser strapped to each side of the ship. In fact, it's more than that, because heavy cruisers are only on with 8-inch guns. And when that funny button gets activated and all of those secondaries go into overdrive, best not to be anywhere near one of these things. So how are things going? I mean, it's early days yet. Very disappointing opening salvo, of course. There should have been some citadels there. The enemy team have a cap. They're threatening the central cap at Bravo, so they are starting to creep ahead on points. Yes, the scores are reversed, because of course they are. It's a World of Warships replay. There's a lot of torpedoes going backwards and forwards up there, and yep, sure enough, the Attigo is down, torpedoed by the enemy Jinan. First blood to the enemy team, and whoop, oh, hello. Terribly sorry about that, old chap. Didn't see you there. Don't worry, I'll start reversing. And you're going to what? Come on, dude. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Pick one. Okay, fine. Scores are not looking good. I mean, there's only been the one casualty so far, but it has dropped Notser's team score down to 125 points, and with no kills and no cap circles, they're not getting any further points coming in. The enemy team, however, do have a kill, and they have 2 cap circles, so they're already at 259 points. And of course, that lead is only going to get worse, not better, especially since they are now flipping the 3rd and final cap at Alpha. There is a friendly destroyer, the Mars over there, on 50%, oh no, substantially less than, he's going to die, isn't he? Risking his life, trying to spot whoever has taken that cap. Let's face it, it's going to be the Bliskovica, isn't it? There's a sudden flurry of kills. The Tengshay takes out the Duke of York, but then the Karl Johan kills the Atlanta. The Tengshay goes down. The friendly Sovietsky Soyuz takes out the enemy Gambia, and then Notser and the enemy Los Andes find themselves in the perfect situation to deliver extreme amounts of damage to each other. And then he rolls a critical fail on his D20. Again. I swear, if Notser didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all. On the bright side, I suppose, the enemy Los Andes wasn't ready to fire, so he doesn't get to inflict extreme amounts of damage on Notser in return, giving Notser the opportunity to angle against him while keeping him inside secondary range. Then the funny button gets triggered by damage received, so the spanking intensifies. Enemy Los Andes is now turned so all of his guns are pointing the wrong way. Notser gets the opportunity to give him a... I swear to God, Notser, you could fall face first into a bucket full of tits and still somehow find a way to come out sucking your thumb. How is that thing not dead? Oh, most of your team are, though. Holy crap, what happened? Why is everybody dying? Why did the enemy team have all three of the cap circles? Why are you down to 105 points with the enemy team, 400 points ahead? Can you finally kill this thing? Shots out. And the survey says, nope. But the friendly Sovietsky Soyuz can. Oh, he ran into the map border. Does that count as pulling a Notser? I mean, technically pulling a Notser is running into an island. Does the map border count? Oh, hang on. Why would the Karl Johan poke out like that? I mean, technically that's asking for a paddling, but given the performance of Notser's 15-inch gun so far, he's probably totally safe. Oh yeah, of course, torpedoes. Well, he's not exactly safe. He's safe from Notser. He's not safe from the Sovietsky Soyuz. And yes, of course, the Karl Johan poked out because, well, basically Karl Johans are driven by frustrated destroyer captains. It's a battleship that's famous for its torpedoes rather than mostly anything else. Come on, Notser, get yourself a kill. You can do it. And votes are in, and the jury says no. Man, Notser, it sucks to be you today, doesn't it? But good job, Sovietsky Soyuz. Again. But hey, look on the bright side. It's at least the kills equalised. Now they're only 3 cap circles and nearly 400 points behind. Ah! Okay, so Notser is running, I can't remember his name, but the special South American captain, who works extremely well on these battleships. It's just activated his combat instruction. So what that means is if you have a look at the funny button, you'll see that it hasn't fully depleted through inaction. Now it will only drop down to 20%, allowing you to get it back up again faster. Also, he's increased the ship's speed, which is always welcome. Shots out at the Azima. Hey, there you go. He's finally found something he can citadel. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates don't appear to have heard the previous instruction to stop dying as the Tengshay and the Dmitry Donskoy both go down in quick succession, dropping Notser's team down to 175 points. Ooh, careful with that torpedo, Eugene. Yeah, this is really, really bad, isn't it? 2 kills, 3 caps, and 600 points behind. Now the destroyer up ahead, who just torpedoed him, is almost certainly not enjoying the attention of these secondaries, right as the funny button gets activated again, but at the same time Notser is currently suffering from a double fire and a flood, and his damage control's on cooldown. And if you're thinking, well, look on the bright side, it couldn't get any worse, suddenly a wild Asashio appears. Slams on the brakes, pulls over the rudder, only eats the 1 torpedo, damage control is back up. Bad news, he's now given broadside to the Azima. Good news, the Asashio just committed a grievous error of judgment. Even better news, the Azima appears to have better things to do than shoot out and finish off an extreme... No, wait, he did. He did. He just missed. Oh, look, Notser, you are allowed to kill things. There's his first kill. Close quarters expert, main gun batteries kind of failed him again. Secondaries picked up the slack. And oh, look, are you now flipping a cap circle? I do believe you are. In a top-tier battleship. Well, he's got no destroyers left, and only 1 cruiser, so somebody has to. May as well be him. The team lose another battleship, but it's instantly answered by the real MVP of this battle, the Missouri, all the way over on the other end of the map, trading a Colorado for a Colorado, backed up by the team's only surviving cruiser, the Sheer, down to the south of the Missouri. The Missouri, you can see him there in chat, push hard and don't stop pushing. And he's not wrong, but I'm pretty sure Notser's going to wait for a heal to come off cooldown before he pushes into anything with the amount of hit points that he has remaining. And there's the heal. The Missouri, all the way over there, however, is going for it and taking no prisoners. Notser letting his secondaries do the talking and waiting for a little bit of hit point recovery because, let's face it, I mean, let's not forget, the Azima might be made out of paper, but it's got really big guns. Missouri gets his second kill, nailing the enemy San Diego, which means the cap circle of Charlie is open and the Missouri is going to get in there and cock block the enemy team because they are up to 914 points and they still have the cap advantage, although they no longer have the kill advantage. Notser and the Sovietsky Soyuz both managed to successfully flip the cap at Alpha, but the enemy team are now less than 70 points away from a win. They're going to need more than one cap circle. They're going to need all three of them. The Missouri's doing his part over at Charlie. And it's when you're under exactly this kind of pressure, with the enemy team at 947 points, almost 50 points away from a win, that regardless of the threat, you have to start taking chances. And of course, the principal threat here is going to be that Bliskovica. Yep, the one who's probably looking right at Notser right now. But you can't afford to wait and make sure that you're safe from the torpedoes. And when you do the best that you can, which Notser is doing, he's trying to ensure that as many islands as possible are between him and any potential submarine threat. But you have to go for it. The Missouri's advising everybody, let them run. Because it looks like that's what the Azima is doing. The Azima is a very, very powerful cruiser, but its armour is terrible. 3 of the 4 ships remaining on Notser's team can basically overmatch it from any angle. Oh, there's the Helena. And with the enemy team at 974 points, they really need a kill here. Battleship, broadside cruiser. Oh, fuck off, game. You've got to be kidding me. And the Helena gets away with the enemy team at 983 points. They are seconds away from winning on points, and the enemy team, although the Helena was a bit late, are doing the right thing. They are just running and taking the points win. You remember that combat instruction that got activated earlier with Notser's special Pan-American commander? The one that increased the ship's speed? 995 points. 998 points. In the cap circle. Enemy team 2 points away from winning with a fraction of a second to go before Notser got into and contested their final controlled cap circle. A fraction of a second ahead of the Missouri, killing the Helena, dropping the enemy team down to 973 points. Honestly, it was so close, I don't know whether or not the Missouri would have saved the day, even if Notser hadn't gotten into the cap. It was just too close to tell. But between the two of them, they've stalled the enemy team at 973 points. Here's the thing. They now need to not only take and, oh shit, torpedoes. And the Sovietsky Soyuz has pulled a Notser and, oh, the torpedoes ran out. That's why he turned into the island, to stay out of torpedo range of the Bliskovica. Okay. So, immediate disaster averted. Notser's managed to recover some more health. Sovietsky Soyuz avoided getting torpedoes and throwing the game by giving the enemy team the one more kill that they need on 973 points. Any one kill will do for them to reach 1,000 points and win. They thought they had it on points just by running, and they very nearly did. Now they need to kill something. Who is it who keeps detecting you there, Notser? Because you know the Bliskovica is basically on the other side of that island, because that's where the torpedoes came from. So wait and see when you get spotted. And that'll tell you where he is. And wait for it. There it is. Right, he's up there. Basically in the direction that Notser's looking. He's pinging the map already, letting the team know where it is. Here's the thing, and this is where it gets tricky. The enemy team need a kill to win. Any one kill, doesn't matter. They're not fussy. Or they need to take a cap circle. just for a few seconds. In order to take a cap circle, they're going to have to get through Notser's team. And the Missouri's saying there in chat, with things as they stand, they'll win in 4 minutes if they all stay alive and they maintain those cap circles. So they kind of have to put themselves between the enemy team and the caps in order to defend the caps, but that makes them easier targets for, in particular, the Bliskovica. But it's the Azima who's... Oh, that's very brave. I mean, but understandable, because they need a kill. But the Azima, broadside to a battleship in a cruiser with armour as bad as that? Nah, he was never in any danger, was he? Not with the luck that Notser's been having with his guns today. And he takes a spanking in return. And both the Azima and the Bliskovica have decided that Notser is the one who needs to die in order to buy them the win. And again, you know, given the situation, it kind of makes sense, but you're a braver destroyer than me opening fire on a Los Andes within secondary range when you have 1,000 hit points. Once again, it's the Sovietsky Soyuz who actually gets the kill, but the important thing is that the kill was gotten because the Azima's second salvo is 100% going to kill Notser. And if not for the death of the enemy destroyer, that would have been 1,000 points and a win for the Azima. He is back up to 988 points. He still needs to get a kill. Notser's team do not. They just need to outlast him. Did you notice the hit points of the friendly Shear, the heavy cruiser? 349 hit points. The Missouri noticed his hit points. He's there in chat saying, do not get spotted, Shear. The Shear's moving to cover the cap circle at Alpha. The Sovietsky Soyuz just said that the Azima might try to take the cap at Alpha. So that possibility has already been floated in chat. And, I mean, leaving aside the whole fact that when you have 349 hit points and there's a supercruiser as the only remaining threat on the enemy team, maybe don't head towards it. Maybe just duck behind the nearest island and sit on your hands for the next few minutes, for however long it takes to win. Instead, the Shear is actually moving kind of towards the threat. And if you look at the minimap, there's a bunch of islands that he could actually be using to put between himself and the last reported position of the enemy cruiser. But rather than heading in the wrong direction, and at least hiding behind the islands, he's heading in the wrong direction, and he's got the islands. Oh no. You'll be fine. Just don't shoot at the Azima. Let the battleships do it. It only has 25mm of plating. They can pen it from any angle. Why are you shooting at the Azima? What are you doing? It can see you. It only needs one kill to win. Oh my god, what have you done? 310mm high explosive hit. 0 damage. Twice. I have no words. The Shear tried its hardest to throw that match and failed. Not once, but twice. I mean, he played a good game, but he seemed to suffer from a sudden and almost fatal rush of shit to the brain right at the end. And yet somehow the RNG gods were smiling and he didn't throw the game. Like I said, I got nothing. But thank you so much, Notser, for sending that one in, because it just defies description. And it's really, really good to see you back. I hope to see more of you in the future. I hope everybody enjoyed seeing you play. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.